The quiet light on the coast. The evening air was still, thick with the smell of the sea and cold, wet rock. Tonight, the North Point lighthouse stood tall and quiet. Its light was a slow, steady breath moving across the dark ocean sky. Inside the tower, Silas, the keeper, sat in a small, warm room. He held a mug of tea that was growing cold. The only sounds were the soft tick-tock of the clock and the gentle shush of the waves far below. It sounded like the world was quietly turning a page. Silas had worked here for many years. He knew the tower well. He knew the tiny noises the building made when the wind changed. He knew the quiet clink the machine made just before the beam spun around. He didn't try to read tonight. He just watched the light. The light was beautiful and very calming. There was a moment of deep, soft darkness, then the big, slow sweep of golden light. It painted a quick, bright line across the window. Then it was gone. Darkness, light, darkness, light. Imagine you were sitting in that cozy room now. The thick walls keep the world's noise out. The light passes by quickly. It doesn't wake you up. It just reminds you that all is well. Outside, a thin mist was beginning to form. When the light shone through the mist, it wasn't a sharpened line. It looked like a soft, bright tunnel that went on into the distance. It cast no hard shadows, only a temporary wash of warmth. Silas closed his eyes for a long moment. He listened to his own heart, which seemed to slow down and match the speed of the light. He thought of the boats out there, far away, seeing his light, a tiny dot of hope and guidance, shining steadily across the miles. They didn't need to hurry. They just needed to know the light was there. That was enough. He took a slow, deep breath, smelling the wood and the salt. He knew the night was long, but it was also a peaceful time, a quiet place to rest. There was nothing to do but watch, breathe, and just be. The steady light, the soft waves, the quiet clock, they were all whispering the same simple word: sleep. Let the light pass over you now, a soft, golden promise. And when the darkness returns, let your mind float, gently, safely, until the morning. The forest was very dark tonight, but not frightening. It was the kind of deep, sheltering dark that smells of wet earth and pine needles. Inside the small wooden cabin, a kerosene lamp cast a low, honey-colored light on the walls. Alara sat by the window watching the rain. It was not a hard storm, but a slow, steady fall. A perfect, quiet drumming on the roof. Tippity-tap, tippity-tap. She loved the sound most of all. It was the world cleaning itself, whispering secrets onto the shingles above her head. The air inside the cabin was warm from the small fireplace. The fire had settled down hours ago, leaving only a deep, glowing bed of red coals that pulsed softly in the dark corner. Every few minutes, a tiny soft pop came from the wood as the heat escaped. Alara closed her eyes and let her body sink deeper into the big, soft chair. She held a cup of warm milk. Imagine you're here in this cabin with her. You could smell the gentle smoke of the damp forest outside. You feel the deep comfort of being dry and safe while the run does all its work, all for you. You can hear the shh of the water running down the window glass, making the warm lamplight look wavy and soft. Listen to the steady, monotonous beat on the roof. There's nothing to rush toward you, and nothing to worry about here. The cabin holds you. The fire is slowly dying down, and the rain is telling its slow, long story. She thought of the streams outside, swelling gently, carrying clean water through the moss and stones. She thought of the big trees soaking up the water, standing tall and still in the night. Everything was exactly where it needed to be. The gentle rain began to slow, turning into a mist that hugged into the forest floor. The tippity-tap changed to a faint sizzle as the last drops hit the warm chimney stack. Alara opened her eyes. The night felt heavier now, full of deep, soft quiet. The light outside her window was no longer moving water, but just simple, peaceful darkness. The rhythm of the world has settled. The air is calm. You are warm, safe, and ready to rest. Let the quiet of the deep forest settle all over your thoughts, just like the mist outside. Sleep is the only thing left to do now. The quiet hour of Manhattan. The night in New York City had reached the very special time, somewhere between 2 and 4 in the morning. It was the moment when the city, famous for its noise, finally agreed to take a deep, slow breath. On the Upper West Side, Arthur sat in his apartment, high above the street. His building was old, with thick walls that blocked out almost all the sound. The bright, busy lights of the town squares were miles away. Here, the world was cast in a soft, low light from the moon and the occasional distant street lamp. Arthur had turned off all his lights. He sat at his window, looking down onto the street. The heavy rush of traffic was gone. Instead, the sounds were spare and simple. The far-off, soft hiss of a street sweeper, the lonely beep, beep, beep of a truck backing up blocks away, and the steady, quiet rumble of a subway train passing deep underground. Imagine the glass of the window was cool against your fingertips. You were safe and still, watching the giant city sleep around you. The buildings across the street, like huge buildings, are silent guardians. Every few floors you could see a single small window still lit, a tiny square of yellow light. The back rooms, someone reading, someone thinking, someone else just enjoying this hour of peace. Each light was a small private island of stillness in the vast ocean of the city. Arthur watched a late-night taxi slowly roll by, its roof light shining. It was going nowhere fast, just floating easily through the empty avenues. The sound of its tires on the damp street was a soft rolling whoosh, which quickly disappeared. His eyes felt heavy, and he fell asleep.